Hi, Crispy Animators. It's me, Alejandro, and with me I have Sorme and our special guest, Henry. Um, Today we're going to talk about Henry's path into going into animation and his eventual goals into doing game cinematics. Um, we hope you enjoy the episode. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey guys, how
How
are
are
you?
you? Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Of
oh
course.
dude, it's our pleasure, man. How you been?
I've been all right. Um, I've just been over at Anim school, just doing classes there for now.
Oh,
But
still taking more school or
yeah,
more classes?
yeah, just try to learn a little bit more on the performance side of things, and just kind of do a bit of that. How about you guys? How have you guys been? I've been seeing like your guys' posts and things like that. Congrats on
Uh,
Atlas. That's
oh,
pretty
thank you.
cool.
Yeah, it was. I watched it last night, actually. I watched it with family. I was, I was a little embarrassed and excited all at the same time.
Oh yeah.
I loved the movie. I loved the movie, but then there were parts where I was like, oh, this part could be better. But the parts that
Yeah.
I worked on were really cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
put them in
Okay.
that
basically
category.
that's all I did too. I was just like, "Oh, I worked on that piece. Oh, I worked on that piece." So basically, whenever you see a close up of the ship just walking, like the foot just stomping down, that was me.
Oh, all right. Awesome. All right, I'll have to check it out. I'll have to dig up like a Netflix subscription somewhere that I have buried.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
entertaining. It's good. I
Yeah.
But
love your
what
background,
classes?
by the way. I feel like
Oh, thanks.
if
Yeah.
compared to
A
me
li-
and Alejandro, yours actually looks like an animator's room.
Well,
well, I don't know.
That doesn't count, man. Put it up first and
Hey.
then tell people.
it's still I still have it. I just haven't put it up. I'm still moving.
Oh, you moved?
Yeah, I'm up in Dublin now.
Okay, for sure. Nice.
Yeah.
Dublin
Yeah.
Nice,
and
nice, nice.
California people, not Ireland. Just saying.
I wish the other one.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Wait, but what
What's
classes are you
no,
taking
wait,
now?
wait, wait.
Dang
Before
it.
classes.
Okay, fine.
Sorry. What's the other poster on the other side? It's Mona, and
Uh,
then you have what else? The other
and
one?
then I have Rogue One
Ah,
over
nice,
there.
nice,
And
nice,
then
nice,
Yeah.
Green
nice.
Day, very nice. I like Green Day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I on my side I can only see like the horizontal slots. So I'm not sure how far over I need to like twist my camera. But
No, you're good.
It's
yeah,
okay. You can see my mess, so it's all right.
yeah, but yeah, both of those I actually got at CTN, I think 2016, I think.
Oh, back
Maybe
when it was all
2015.
still great. Nice.
I just went over by the tables and they were like, "Hey, do you want this movie poster?" Yeah, sure.
Oh, you didn't have to pay for it?
No, they just
Damn.
handed it to me. I was like, "Oh, awesome!" And then, like in hindsight, I was like, maybe I should have asked like the people attending the booth if they could like sign it or
Yeah,
something,
that would
just to
have
make it a
been.
little more personal. But I mean, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That is, I went to Furiosa's free screening last week, and they
Oh,
had
okay.
these.
Right on.
So they had a lot of different cosplayers that came in. They took pictures, and they were in character the whole time, screaming and doing the thing with their hand thing. And they were giving out free posters as big as those. But then I
Mm.
contemplated. I was like, do I want one of those posters? And I ended up not taking one, but I took a t-shirt. I have a Furiosa t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Just to,
Well, at least you
yeah.
have a memento of some sort, though.
Yeah, exactly. The poster
Yeah.
was huge, and I have so many posters at home that I just couldn't have another one.
Were there people with like silver like spray paint cans, just, like
They were
spraying
already,
themselves? And
no, they were already silver. There was this one girl that was
oh, okay.
all white and had like the black thing and the whole staff, and it was great. You know, they were really done very well.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
awesome.
it was cool.
That's real cool.
Damn.
Yeah. And now you can ask classes. Sorry, I
Well, no,
derailed
I
you
think
enough.
we should just start from the beginning. Just go with like Henry, how did you get into animation? Like how did that all start for you?
I got started back in I guess when I went into college in San Jose State in 2010. But originally I was a film, like I was leaning over towards film, but I was undeclared. So I was working on a short film, and then someone on the set just happened to be an animation student at San Jose
Yeah.
State, and they were just like, you like to draw and you like film. Why don't you just put those two together and do animation? And me being, 18, 19, I was like, yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea. And it was, I declared my major and I went through the program, graduated in 2016 with a BFA in animation and illustration. And that's really how I kind of got my start into like the whole like animation world, because I
So,
always wanted to do something that was like, entertainment
Yeah.
related, like ever since I was a kid. And I just kind of got to put my skills towards that.
did you
Um,
start with 2D then, since you were drawing and
yes,
putting?
yeah. Since it's a brick and mortar school, the program was kind of directed towards like, okay, we'll do like your fundamentals. So you have to learn a little bit of illustration stuff. You have to like know how to draw a perfect cube and all that kind of fun things. And
Uh,
then and then moved on to like 2D animation and a little bit of modeling, a little bit of, and then a little bit of 3D animation and like painting and
Damn,
things
so
like
you
that.
can actually draw better than, stick figures like I do.
Uh,
you can also model.
very, very like, minimally. Like it's just enough for like just to get like my point across kind of thing. Like I can do like very simple like hard shapes and things
Wait,
like
didn't you
that for
do an
modeling.
X-wing
Yeah,
model?
I made a
I
little
still have
X-wing
it.
model for my yeah, I made like a little X-wing model for one of my shots at Anim school, just because I was like, oh, I want to do a Star Wars shot.
Nice.
And yeah, and on terms of like stick figures, I mean, like I think the best I can describe it is I can do like a gestural like, scribble that probably doesn't make, to like another illustrator, they'd be like, this is terrible. What is this? What is this gibberish? And to me, I'm like, yeah, like it gets my point across. I know what I want from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what all that matters is if you understand it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
a storyboarder. It doesn't matter as long
Yeah,
as
I
you know
mean,
what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, like I think storyboard. So long as you get the point across,
Yeah,
it
exactly.
is what it is, right? Like I think Kung Fu Panda has some like really scratchy like storyboards, but it's just like, well, I mean that you know the story,
It
like
works.
it's telling it, it's fine,
Yeah.
like go
Yeah.
ahead, but definitely not enough to be like a storyboard artist or anything like
Okay.
that. I wish.
So we graduated, and then when did you get to collaboratives? Like, how did you hear about that?
So Animation Collaborative, I had known because Michael McCarowitz came over to my school to give a demo, and he completely blew us all out of the water because
Yeah.
he did a live animation demo in about an hour
God, they're so good.
or something like that, and the line that he did was a dialogue line too. Like he did two demonstrations. He did one where he was like, oh look, I can make this like very basic like obstacle course with like it was like a floating ball, like
Yeah, and he has
he
like
did
platforms and he
yeah,
jumps and
and like
everything.
yeah, it did that, and that was already like, damn, that's real cool. And then he was just like, oh, I'm gonna do this line, and it was like the one, I don't know if he always does this one, but the one he chose was, you lie. You always lie. He just did that while answering questions, and then by the end of the talk, he was just like, yeah, it's not so great, but like
It was
this
super
this
amazing.
is
It's
like
so
a
good.
really rough like blocking, and then turn to like the Asian students being like, this is like probably better than my
Anything we've ever done.
polish animation. Like, what are you talking about?
And
So
he's so fast while he's doing it too. You were like, how
yeah,
does he do it so quickly and so easily? It's
right.
inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up taking like one of his like quick like classes during my time at San Jose State, and then
Mhm.
I was like, oh, like a couple years after graduating, I was like, okay, I kind of want to like, just touch up on my skills, get better, improve, just so I can apply to places, because I wasn't really getting anywhere in my applications. So I just kind of Animation Collaboratives just next door and relatively good for the price, and like I kind of felt that I would prefer a in-person experience versus online.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was in person then. Yeah.
yeah, it was in person.
So which
then
classes did you take? Because I forget which one you and I met in.
I think I took the advanced body mechanics. I definitely took body mechanics, advanced body mechanics, and lip sync. I think those were like the main three that I
Maybe it
took.
was advanced body mechanics you and I met.
Yeah, I think so. And then did we also meet Steven there as well?
Yes,
Or
yes,
yeah,
we met Steven.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is
So
Steven going to be on here
Oh yeah,
soon?
yeah.
Oh,
He's
cool.
messaged me on the side saying how much he likes the podcast. Man,
oh, fantastic.
yeah, you guys made that class a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That was fun, dude.
yeah. That was a great time. They would like. I really, really liked the in person, like that chance to be like in person and get to like talk to everyone. And I think one of your previous guests like said it kind of really well, where it really did feel like you were like part of
He watches our podcast.
yeah. uh, um, you know, it was like literally the last episode you guys uploaded where he was like, it feels like you are in a review like session kind of
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing.
they
And
make it feel like dailies. That's what
yeah,
was really
yeah,
cool.
that's what it
Yeah.
was. That it felt like dailies,
Mhm.
and
I wish there were classes like that. There is none that I can find that is in person anymore. It's just
yeah,
sad that it's like that now. It's a
yeah.
whole new, different experience when it's in person.
I think it's just hard in general to be able to do something like that and be in person at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
don't know.
all have these networks because of those classes. I know so many people because of that school, and it was the only in-person school. So it's just sad that new animators, at least in the Bay Area, wouldn't have something similar. So
I mean, they got
yeah.
to branch out to everyone, so you can't always do the in person. So I get their stance on it.
Yeah,
But
but
okay,
I don't
so
know.
we
Maybe
went
SoCal has a bit
collaboratives.
more.
Collaboratives. Where did you go after that?
Well,
So
I love that you always say collaboratives. There's no zzz. There's
Collaboratives.
zzz. There's no
That's how I
Collaboratives.
say it.
zzz.
They're gonna add it in soon. They're gonna add it in.
Animation
I already
Just for
talked
you,
to
collaboratives.
Mike.
yeah.
Or is
Sorry,
it
go
that
for
like
it.
is it like the school's animation collaborative, but the people that attend are animation
Oh, the collaboratives.
collaboratives?
See,
Mm.
he gets
Yeah,
it.
that actually makes sense to me.
That's the
I
line of
accept. I
thinking.
accept.
So the reason I ended up going to Anim school was because of COVID, actually.
Mhm.
Because I after COVID hit, I was taking an animation collaborative course, and they had just kind of switched over to try to accommodate and be more online. And at the time, I felt that they just weren't prepared for that sudden change
Yeah.
kind of thing. And I just felt I had known about Anim schools since like college, like we would every year we would like it's like I've talked about it before where to some of my friends where I was like, it's really weird that a lot of us saw like the yearly like show reel that they would put
Yeah.
out of like the best student work and all that kind of thing. And every single year we'd be like, man, these guys are fantastic. Like they're all gonna get like animation jobs and things like that.
Yeah.
And then every time we would always make the comment, if only I could afford it. And then like, it's like we were in college. Like, of course, like an online school is gonna be so much cheaper than than paying for
Yeah.
college classes. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I was an idiot. Like, why did
Well, it's because we
why did I
didn't
think
know.
that?
We have that pressure from like our parents in the outside world that basically are like, you have to go to college. You have to go to college. So then we never know, oh, hey, this online course is just as good and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah,
Is that an
right?
option? Yeah.
And like I don't know why we had it in our heads that like Anim school was like expensive or anything like that. I was just like, after the fact and going through it. But yeah, anyways, the main thing that I decided that would be good about going to Anim school was that they had a game animation program, and I was like, well, I kind of want to learn about game animation, and I kind of want to kind of dip my feet into that world because I really like playing games, and I thought it'd be real cool to like make games. So
Yeah.
So it wasn't
so yeah.
something that you always wanted. Like you weren't like, oh, in college I want to get into games. You just that was when you thought about it.
Yeah, it's weird because I never really it never really, I don't know why it didn't, but like it never really occurred to me like, oh, like yeah, maybe I can do game animation. I
Yeah.
feel like the main reason for that was that my school was very heavily guided towards feature and television and advertisement kind
Okay.
of things. So the thought of like, oh yeah, you could apply this and do like video games
Mm.
or like why don't we like take a look at video games and see how that's a valid thing that you could apply your skills towards. And then I think like a lot of games that I ended up playing sort of inspired me to pursue a more like games
Which games?
specific
What
route.
games? What games?
Yeah, tell us which games.
I think the big one for me was Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh,
Just like
so good. The first
yeah.
one, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah, yeah.
still have to play the second one. I don't have
See,
a.
me too. I do. I don't have a PS5. It's on a
Still have to play the
PS4.
first.
Yeah.
Oh no, Alejandro, go for it.
You
It's
gotta
so
play
good.
it. It's fantastic. I know it's on the PS4. My friend ruined it for me because he said, "Hey, look, I'm playing it on a PS5," and I was just like,
Yeah, so good. It's so
"I
good
know
that
this
then
is
I
not gonna
know.
be as good."
That's why I haven't played either. Exactly, that's why. And now there's a little other shortened version of this game. I don't remember what it's called. I think there's
Oh
another
yeah,
one too.
I think there is another one
Like an
like
extension or
yeah,
something.
I think it was like it's like a game experience or something like that. I think
Oh,
right? Like I
maybe.
I don't remember.
It's
Like
inspiring though. Like when I played it, I was like, I think I was in games at the time, but I
hmm,
know how you feel. It's an amazing game. Alejandro, go
yeah,
for it. Just go for it.
yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
is it like Assassin's Creed? Because that's like my bread and butter.
I also love Assassin's Creed, but then depends on which one. It's going downhill pretty quickly.
I still play them. Doesn't matter.
It looks
Uh,
better than Assassin's Creed, I think.
definitely. I guess like maybe it's kind of like mechanically Assassin's Creed 3 maybe with
Okay.
like arrows and things like that, but like I don't know, it just hits different, just
It
like
hits different.
the storytelling is just phenomenal, both like cinematically and in-game cinematics when you're just kind of like exploring and you're just
Compared to
finding out
God
Exactly.
of
about
War. God of
this
War.
world.
Are they too just as?
Oh,
Because come on, that story is.
I wish I could comment. I really wish I could comment. I'm terrible. All right. I
I'm going to
have
cut. You said this. I'm going to cut this, and this is going to be in the trailer. I am terrible. This is Henry.
Oh, this
yeah,
is how the
pretty much.
podcast is gonna start. It's just gonna
Oh
be.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, right. Nothing says animator like self-deprecation, right?
I mean, I do it all the time. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. I have like The Last of Us, God of War, and like I think another game that everyone's like, oh, you have to play this. I have them. I have not played them.
The Last of Us?
I haven't even played The
What?
Last of Us either, so
but-
I'm with you.
No, guys, no.
I have it both for the PlayStation and on like on Steam. And I will say this: The Walking Dead, the Telltale game, kind of ruined me about watching full like playthroughs of games or like
Okay.
games that are heavily story based, because I wept by the I was watching like I watched someone it was actually PewDiePie at the time. I watched him play through The Walking Dead, and by the end of it I was in tears, and I was just like, oh my god, this is an amazing story. And then like I then went and played the game myself, and I was still in tears, like even more so by the end of it. And I was just like, I don't
Go
know,
through
like
that again.
yeah, like this was just amazing, and this was just like an amazing experience. And then he started playing The Last of Us, and I saw like the first 10 minutes, and then I stopped because I was just like, I can't watch.
Don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, I can't watch like the rest of this. I
The
have
Last
to
of Us.
experience this myself.
Yeah,
And
The Last of Us is
yeah.
definitely an experience. Like you need to walk through it with the character.
Oh
It's
yeah,
amazing.
definitely. Like
But if
I've
you
avoided all the spoilers. Like I have no idea.
for
After
this long, you're really
yeah,
good at
no,
it.
I'm amazing.
Oh no,
right?
he's very
like,
good at this.
See, you're
maybe it's
terrible
just
and
my
amazing
short
all at the same time.
Yeah, maybe it's just my short memory where I'm just like, I don't know, like I just don't remember. But
Are you
like
waiting to emotionally be ready for the game to play it?
maybe that's what I'm like preparing
Okay.
myself for
This is
mentally.
going to be, I know this is towards the future, but this brings up a really good question for me because this happened to me with the movie Atlas. It's like when you worked on any video games, Henry, because
Mm.
we haven't gotten there yet, but we'll
Mhm.
talk as animators in general. When we work on stuff, does it kill you that it's so cool in the beginning? You're like, yeah, this shot I'm working on, it's really cool. And then you finish the project and you're just like, the movie's ruined for me. Or the video game might
Yeah.
be ruined for me. Do you get that feeling with video games? Or is it more just film?
I think as of right now, because I've been doing more gameplay animation, it hasn't really been ruined
Okay.
yet. But that is kind of in the back of my mind where I'm just like, what happens if I go down like the gameplay, the game cinematic route? I find out all this like stuff is happening. Like, am I gonna just completely like distraught? But I
Yeah.
think I think like I don't know. I feel like you would still be able to enjoy it even if you are a little bit spoiled, because you would be able to see it like you would be able to see you would know your section, but
Yeah.
then everything leading to it, like maybe you're in the dark about like I don't know, like
But it would
how.
make you ask so many questions. You're
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
no, it
oh,
would. I would be trying to like track down the story people and just being like, can you just please tell me like what's gonna happen? And then they'll be like, no, you don't have the qualifications for it. Sorry, or
oh, you
something
can't
like
just
that.
do what we do where, shoot, I don't know if I should say it, but where it's
Well,
like we
if you
go,
don't know, don't say it.
okay, I won't say it.
But
Never
that
mind.
Yeah.
happened to me on Atlas when I'm not gonna spoil anything, but she
Mm.
limps a lot in the movie. And when we're
Oh,
working on a shot, she was always limping, especially when we're doing posters. And the entire time, I didn't know the cause of the limping until I saw the movie. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So it's like there's
oh,
stuff like that
that's
when you.
interesting that they wouldn't tell you like, oh, this is the why she has a limp.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
like
had parts of the scripts only, not the entire thing, and we had sequences that was missing the shot that was the cause of the limp. So yeah,
yeah,
no, we wouldn't know
Oh
parts.
yeah, they cut us out
Two-thirds
sometimes
surprising.
where you'd have like this fight scene and you like start the fight scene, but you never finish it. So then it's kind of just like,
you're just like, what
okay,
happens?
yeah,
Does the person die? Is he
yeah.
alive? What is going on? Yeah.
And then it's
I'm
because they
just
would like,
imagining like a animator that they are like, oh, here's this one shot and like she's walking fine, and then they give you the next shot and it's like, oh, now she has a limp. It's like,
That happened. That's exactly
wait,
what
what
happened
happened?
at Atlas. Yeah, exactly. Like, did I for in the first time that I saw the limping part, I thought that the shot is like the plate has a problem, or like I did something wrong and it's jittery or something. But then I realized,
Mm.
no, she's actually limping here.
Oh, wild,
Yeah.
dang. Okay,
wild.
sorry. That was a whole like
Yeah, we
Yeah.
tangented really hard. So
tangent.
we go
Yeah,
back. You are the animation Anim school. You're
for
saying how
video
cool Anim
games.
school is, and you
Yeah.
started to think about how getting into games.
So like
Yes.
what kind of classes? I know it's video games, but like what are they teaching you? Like cycles, or are they teaching
A
you
little bit of everything. Like we got
okay.
the whole like game pipeline kind of
Explain that to
experience.
us because we don't really
So
know it.
right, yeah. So when we started off, I had Jared Showers, my instructor, and that was going through like gameplay mechanics. So that was like your basic like, oh, let's do a cycle, a jump, a like an idle cycle, a death, and a attack, and things like that. And then we would take those animations and import them, bring them into like Unreal, and just kind of like we tweak how it like works and like the animation tree. And I know I just messed up that word. I don't remember what it's called right now. Through the
Blueprints?
through the blueprints.
Blueprints.
Through the blueprints. There we go.
Collaboratives. There we go.
Collaboratives. Yeah. So we would go through that entire process of getting it into game and like figuring, kind of like tweaking it, making it feel nice for like how we would want it to appear for like the player. Then the next class, I had Seth Kendall, and we were doing a little bit more creature things. So essentially, we
Nice.
took those concepts and we just applied them to like creatures. So we had to do like a flight animation, like a quadruped attack, and like different
How'd
things.
you shoot those references?
I yeah. Oh, very embarrassingly, but it was also like a lot of looking up, footage from like YouTube and
Yeah.
like looking at like just like cycle clips and things like that.
I will
wish
say
I
one
could
thing
say
I
that
do
I had gone
remember with
to
Henry.
SF.
One thing with Henry, his references were always really good when he would show
Really?
us. Oh yeah, you shoot
Oh,
some good
that's
references,
the other one
man.
that we took.
Oh yeah, the reference class.
Acting for reference class.
Yes,
That was
Wow,
fantastic.
you've taken so many classes. Okay.
Yeah, right. And then after we had done the quadrupeds, that's when we dipped our feet into mocap, and that was, let's just do a simple like mocap run, make that kind of cycling nicely, and then after that we kind of did something a little more cinematic-ish, where we stitched like a couple mocap datas together, like separate different ones, to try to create a rough story of sorts.
Okay.
Were
and
you
then-
liking what you were doing? Like, were you like,
Oh, yeah. No,
games
it
is what
was-
I actually want?
Yeah, honestly, like when I was like doing it and like experiencing like implementing everything in, I was just like, yeah, this is fantastic. Which is odd, because like even throughout like the main reason why I ended up taking Animation Collaborative and the body mechanics and things like that was that I always kind of struggled with making things like mechanically correct, and like making sure everything like physically worked, which is a little odd that now I'm going into games where it's like, well, you have to make everything like correct from every
Exactly right.
angle, and like you can't cheat anything, so but
But it just felt right while you were doing
yeah, it felt right, to like do it. And then the final class actually kind of went back into that whole like performance thing, which is kind of why my goal eventually would be to do like game cinematics, where we got to go into like game cinematics and kind of like think about storytelling elements of how do you tell a story to a active participant, like like a viewer that is actively participating versus like just sitting back and just watching kind of thing. Like how do you
make them engaged in the game?
Yeah, just kind of like how do you make a player engaged? How do you get like information across very quickly? And
is it different than like film?
It's not necessarily different. It yes and no. Like I think, because I mean you can still like definitely nowadays, if you could watch like a game cinematics like movie, and you'd
get Blizzard.
Yeah, right. Like Blizzard, or like Destiny, or like for me, like it was Halo. Just you could just watch the cinematics and you would be told like an amazing story, and you would understand.
What was that really scary one? The really the one that came out that was really kind of horror. That all the things with like there are a few men and they're running away and it's like they're in hell, and then this giant woman comes in that is kind of burst. What was it? The name? It's a really famous game. Okay, I'll think of it as you guys start talking. Go for it. Sorry, Henry.
Link on video.
Maybe.
Yeah, pop up.
Pop up. She'll figure it out.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I wish I knew.
Same.
What was
so you did the last class, and you used the cinematic like animation. I guess what happened after that? Did you start looking for work, or did you continue taking classes?
Yeah, so after that point, that was 2022, I started applying to different places, and I got a couple like tests from different places here and there, and then nothing. I went through like the interview process, but things kind of came up where they couldn't hire me, or just the their needs changed or
Mhm.
whatever, we just weren't like a good fit kind of
Okay.
thing.
What
And
kind of if hold on one sec. What kind of test did they have you like do? Are you allowed to say or
animation tests.
okay,
I
okay.
think that's
I
like the
didn't know if it would be
safest.
like walk cycles fights or it was actually like a scene.
Each one was different based
Okay.
off of like their needs for the role kind of thing. So
Did you feel like you had enough time for like the deadline was enough time for you
Oh, good
to
question.
do it?
yeah, I think for the most part, yes. But
Mhm.
there was one that was a little bit of an outlier. I won't say who the company is or anything like that, but
Yeah.
You don't need to.
they essentially asked me to spend only 8 hours on it,
Hmm.
which is kind of great because it's like, okay, just put in 8 hours, send it in, see see what they think. But then they came back and they were like, oh, could you put another 8 hours? I was just like, well, that's a
Hmm.
little,
They want you
I
to
mean,
see if you can what you can do in a day and then how much time
and
you need to
then
polish and finish.
yeah, but
Hmm.
they never
In a
really
weird way.
but they never really stated that, and they also
uh
never gave any
Hmm.
feedback either. So I was just
Huh.
kind of like,
Oh yeah, what do
Interesting.
you want me to fix?
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
do I just, is it okay? Did you want me
Did
to
you
change
felt
something?
like in the first 8 hours you finished what they asked of you? Like you didn't feel like you needed extra
Mm,
polish or anything?
yeah, I felt like I got it to a point that was workable. Like I felt like you
Mm-mm.
could at the very least you could put it in game and people, like, it wouldn't block the game pipeline or anything like that. Like,
Mm, okay.
we'd be able to like at least have it in game and it would be working, it'd be workable. We could like at least like kind of like fix the mechanics and things like that, but like at
Mm.
least with animation we can just keep it like keep iterating or
Yeah.
what have you.
Interesting.
But then I, through a contact of mine, I actually ended up at Super Seed. I was there for about a year, a good part of a year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And how
and
was it? How was it going in? Like your first job? How did it feel?
it was fantastic. It was a little interesting because there was no like, it felt really informal. Like it was just suddenly
Hmm.
like, I don't know if it was because like I had gotten recommended or anything like that, but there was no like animation test in for that one.
That's
You
And
just
beautiful.
got hired.
yeah,
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
it was
beautiful.
I love it
it
when
was
that
just kind of like,
happens.
okay, like this is what you can do. Like it was just kind of based off like my demo reel, and it was just like, okay, this is
Mm.
what you can do. Can you do this? Can you do that? I was like, yeah, I think I can do it. Like, yeah, I should be able to do it. And confidence is key.
Yes, that's
uh,
true.
and it was just kind of like, okay, we're gonna start on this date. Here you go. I was like, oh, okay,
Nice.
okay. Yeah, it was very just kind of like, all right, that's it. It was like,
And it
really?
was work from home, right? You didn't have to go
Ye-
in.
Yeah, it was all work from home. I think Superseed in general doesn't have an office. I
Mm,
think they're
okay.
completely remote. I
Okay.
think
Okay.
they're a completely remote contracting studio. And yeah, I went there and I actually worked on yeah, I should be able to say it at this point. Like
If
I was
if
working
you
at,
don't want to, it's
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
man.
skip
Don't
it.
worry.
well,
Don't
Yeah.
worry.
well, point is
Yeah.
I was working on I was working on a video game
Hmm.
at the time, doing a lot of gameplay like kind of element for that.
Mhm.
Fast forward after a year, what happened was, my contract kind of ran up, so uh, Super C didn't really have another project lined
Mm.
up for me at the time,
Hmm.
so so had to like just kind of part ways for the time being after
Hmm.
that, and that was
You still
back in
keep in contact with them?
September. Yeah, like I'll message them whenever like a job pops up. I'll be like, hey,
Remember
I'm
That's
free
me.
to work. Hi. Like if I if my stuff is what you're looking for, then I'm still available to work. I can
Yeah.
still work, you know. But yeah, so that was back in September, and then after that I was looking for other places to apply to for like a month or two,
Mhm.
Mm.
and so this was by now 2023, so just last year, and I was kind of seeing that sort of writing on the wall of what was about to happen,
Yeah.
where it was just like there were hardly, like, typically around September anyways, there's hardly any associate roles in general. Like usually that's
Mhm.
kind of a March thing, like in
Mhm.
March,
Yeah.
early in the years when like associate roles kind of get posted. Towards the end of the year, maybe there's a couple stragglers for the new year. There was nothing. And I was just like, well, may as well be productive. So I decided that I would just take like a couple performance classes at Anim School, just to again at Anim School, just because I was like, well, I want to eventually go into game cinematics, so why not,
Nice.
like, learn a little bit more performance so I can apply that to my, to like a game cinematics reel. And
But you
like,
were looking for game jobs at the time,
yeah,
and you were saying there
uh,
was none.
at,
You weren't looking at
at
any
that point,
animation.
I was looking at everything. I was
Good.
So
just like,
Good. I would have
nothing
been. I would have
animation.
been
Yeah.
mad. I would have been
yeah,
mad if you didn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at everywhere and anywhere. I was like, is there TV? Is there film, game? Like,
It was September 2023,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mm.
It was in September 2023. There is like, I think there's like a couple that like popped up, but for them, but and I applied to those, but never heard back from them.
Yeah.
The usual song and dance kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
The usual emails we get every day.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, just nothing was coming up, so I was just like, okay, I'll just I
Take
have a little
class.
bit of money saved up. I'll just take some classes, try to improve myself, and see
Mm.
where we go from there. And hopefully I can have like a demo reel that's a little bit more catered towards game
Cinematic.
cinematics, just in
Mm.
case something comes up, or even for like film, like
Yeah.
I felt like, okay,
Increasing your
like,
chances of
yeah, I was
getting a
just like,
job.
okay, let's just widen this net so I can just like
Yeah.
Yeah,
toss it
but
at
now
people.
my question: are you gonna be making 2 different demo reels? Are you gonna do one for game and one for
Good
film?
question.
My
Yeah.
hope is that I will eventually have like 3 different demo reels that I can throw at
What's the
people.
third one?
So I want one that's, so my
Wait,
crackpot
let me guess.
idea.
Let me guess. Gameplay, cinematics, like movies.
Um,
I'm thinking creatures is the
close
third
on the
one.
first two. So
Okay.
so gameplay, keyframe gameplay, cinematics, and the last one in mocap.
Oh,
Oh,
second one
okay.
for mocap. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want. So my idea was that I'm just going to. I want to bookend my different demo reels, because
Mm-hmm.
each one I figure is looking for something specific. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so for gameplay, I'll just do like keyframe animation, and like, unless it's otherwise specified, right? That's why I have
Yeah.
mocap as the other one. So gameplay, I was going to be like, okay, hit them with a good like attack combo kind of thing,
Mm.
or something at the very start, so people know what the demo reel is going to be about, and then bookend that with another kind of really cool gameplay kind of thing. And then same with cinematics, do start with a cinematic shot, end with a cinematic shot, and then same with mocap, start with mocap, end with mocap, just so that like whoever's looking at the reel isn't trying, like, I don't lose them in the first 5 seconds of
Mm-hmm.
True.
them being
True.
Which
like,
happens a lot. Yeah.
yeah. I was just like, okay, like if I can get it so that at least the very first shot is like,
It's
okay,
amazing. Yeah.
this is a mocap. This is mocap. This is what we're looking for. Or, oh,
Mm.
this is cinematics. This is what or gameplay.
Are
It's
you
like,
allowed
okay.
to use some of the stuff you made in the previous game? Did they send you any like, hey, you can use this for your demo, or is this all going to be personal?
As of right now, I just because the game hasn't been released, or honestly, at
Not
this
yet.
point, I don't know what's happened to that game, because it's like,
Mm.
I don't know what's
dang.
going on, or
Uh-huh.
Right.
maybe I do. I don't know.
Yeah,
NDAs and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm not really allowed to put it on anything.
On them. So
s-
wait, so you wanted to have 3 new demo reels with all new shots?
not
Is
all
that
new,
the plan?
not all new shots, just bookends.
Like a mix.
So like
The bookends would be new, and the middle would be what you had before.
yeah, so like the middle parts are kind of like, oh, this is like some of the stuff that I like.
Okay,
these are
yeah.
like the nice shots. So but I'm also trying to make sure to just keep it simple. Like
Wouldn't one demo reel just keep it simple?
yeah, one demo you would think, right? But then there's always people that are like, oh yeah, but you should always cater your demo reel to like this and that, and like
Well, if you said you listened to Leo's episode, Leo's point was don't cater, do what you want to do,
that's
and
true.
then that should get you a job, or that should be your demo reel. Yeah,
should be. Yeah. No,
I mean, because they're gonna tell off the bat, like with one of your demo reels, they're gonna be like, he knows what he's doing. He could probably do what we need him to do. Cool.
You would hope so.
I feel like
so. I've also encountered things where people are like, yeah, like if you had more of this, then maybe, but like you don't, so too bad. But then like you would, then
I haven't had that yet.
But see, then you would think like, well, that's why you give me an animation test, right? Like if you like
that's what I was
something
gonna say.
that I do, shouldn't
maybe
you give me an animation test?
Like a demo reel with a lot of cinematics, and they want to see mocap, and they can just ask, can you do a mocap one for us? Or give us a shot with a mocap thing, and you were like, yeah, here you go. Why do you have to
do you send all three? Like, let's say there's
no,
a new job.
I
would.
No, I
You're
wouldn't.
a weird person, Alejandro. You just have to.
Where are you gonna put the space? They only give you one slot to like.
Dude, in the special comments and like all those kind of things, like, do you have anything else? I always add the extra stuff if I have it, but I don't. I only have one demo reel.
But you know what I would do? I have all three of them on LinkedIn, and I also they ask usually for your website or whatever, and you do LinkedIn, and they can always see that you have more there if they're actually looking for that much.
Yeah,
you don't want to bombard them with.
Mine isn't on LinkedIn actually.
You don't have your demo reel on LinkedIn?
Technically, I can't.
I stalked you earlier. I know you have.
Well, I have work.
Password.
Yeah,
I see. You can connect it to Vimeo, and then there's password. So if they want, they'll ask you. You can say that there's a connection with a password, and then you add the password. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm doing my personal stuff on LinkedIn, but I didn't know about that. I should probably do that.
Connect. Okay. You were saying,
yeah, no worries.
3 different demo reels. So yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, I think I'm just gonna, keep those kind of shots just simple to the point. I don't know. Like I agree with Leo that one demo reel should just take care of it, but at the same time,
I hope you're listening, Leo.
Well,
do better.
I think it is correct, but I just think right now, just the way that the industry's kind of like
special in time,
yeah, where there is just like before your competition, while it was it was big, but now it's even just like exponentially bigger, and I'm just like, okay, recruiters or whoever's watching my demo reel just does not have the time to just like sit there and be like, oh, is what I'm looking for going to show up or not?
But still reach out to them, because it's important. Reach out, recruiters.
Right.
Just reach out. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. But I was just like, okay, I feel like I just need to like hook them in like the first shot and just get that done, kind of thing. And then that's also why I'm like kind of restructuring my resume as well, just to kind of fit more, kind of like, okay, like I don't need some of my previous jobs, kind of like what you said. It's like, okay, if they're interested in knowing my whole history, they can just look me up on LinkedIn, but I'm just gonna put like the main things and just like load that up.
Just leave those two?
Leave those. For me, I have just like my most relevant works, which is Superseed, and then way back when after college, Apple. But
you met my wife there. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. small world.
Very small world. Yeah.
But yeah, I have those just because I was like, okay, like those are relevant. Those are like relevant. I don't want to bombard people with just like, oh, this is like everywhere I worked. It's just like, okay, these are the main things, like, I can do animation, I can work for a big company, off you go, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then, just trying to like, just optimize my, resume for that kind of thing. Just so that I know that I'm not getting lost in the cracks of any like potentially automated software that's just like looking for keywords, Yeah, right now I'm taking like class. I'm taking classes to kind of bolster up my my know-how in like in perform. So right now the class that I'm taking is a facial performance class, just to kind of get learn a little bit more about like face animation and like how to just kind of like pump that up for for the camera and things like that.
Dang, I
Yeah,
should do that too.
you have a very expressive face. Great
I
for
just
reference.
can't put it into the character.
That's
true.
why you only use it for reference. You're just like, okay, I get everything else, and then you have your animation know-how. It's just be like, all right, let's punch this up, make this look awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. One day.
Oh, you got it. But yeah, so my plan was to just take this course, and then after that to revisit kind of with my bookends idea of just like, okay, I'm gonna make a new gameplay shot because it's been a little while, and then I'm gonna do the mocap shot, and then piling onto that, I know you shouldn't like pile your plates up too high or whatever.
I do it all the time. Keep going.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to learn a little bit more Unreal. I'm pushing myself to be like, okay, I need to really like kind of at least understand this a little way more.
Dude, once you do, it's gonna be great for you, man. Because like that was us. We basically just had to learn on the fly, and I think it's a really good asset to have right now.
Yeah,
that and
definitely.
Unity. Yeah.
Hello.
Hooray!
I am back.
Welcome
I
back.
apologize.
Okay.
No worries.
Okay,
No worries.
hopefully
No
this
worries
works.
at all.
The only reason this is happening is because I'm not home. I'm actually in Paris, France, and I'm on
Oui,
a
oui.
laptop that I
Oh.
never use.
Comment allez-vous?
Right on.
Oh, très bien, merci beaucoup.
Parlez-vous français?
Do you?
Baguette,
No,
baguette,
no.
baguette.
Got a son.
Not bad. You have a slight Spanish accent. That works.
Duolingo. That's what I'm trying to use right now.
Oh, yeah?
That doesn't work as much as you think. It's
Are
more
we
a game
sponsored?
than
Are we sponsored?
one day. One day, hopefully. Are you applying to jobs right now?
Yeah.
Because you were saying that you're still doing
I
your demo.
I am
stuff.
applying wherever there is an opportunity. Yeah.
Even for senior positions, if you see them, are you just going for it?
No. And I know people say you should anyways.
Yes, you should.
But
I say no. Go for it.
I just based off of current landscape, I know it's just
No
not.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I under normal circumstances, I would absolutely apply anyways, just because it's like, okay, well, why not just throw my hat in and just be like, hi, it's me.
Why not?
And then, of course, like different studios and different places have different opinions on like what their version of senior is as well. So, maybe, certain places might be like, oh, okay, like, for us, sure, you're senior, but for them, maybe not.
But you'll never know if you don't apply.
It's true, but
It's just a different kind of market, man.
yeah, just I don't know. I just feel just the current environment right now, a lot of it is like, oh, we need senior, because they can't afford anyone that doesn't have the experience necessary for like anything else at the moment, because most companies got rid of like, well, sad time talks, but like even like Pixar.
Go for it, man.
Pixar, DreamWorks, the whole like game industry, like just suddenly poof, like all these workers are gone, so it's like, okay, well, we need someone experienced to be able to like pull their weight and like
Handle the work.
have
Yeah.
all these different like shots done, and we need them now.
Does that
know?
scare you?
As of right now, yeah, but in the future, I don't think I'm as scared of the future. I'm just annoyed that it's going to take until the future for it to get better.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like,
a good way to put it. I
Yeah.
like that.
like
I
I know
agree.
there is work because, you know, at least in games and definitely in, I know like film as well, like, you know, it's still profitable, you know, it's profitable within industry, you know, otherwise you wouldn't be giving like these CEOs like giant golden parachutes and things like that, you know, like
Yeah.
like if it wasn't profitable, you wouldn't be doing that. You'd just be like, get out, you know. But
Silence.
yeah, but I think just right now it's hard, but I think in the future, hopefully by next year, once things have kind of calmed down,
Hold out till
but
2025.
Survive to
yeah,
2025. Survive
Hold
to
out,
2025.
survive.
which honestly is really disappointing that I feel like right now it really is a game of survival, of just
Yeah,
like
it is.
who
Fully.
can last, you know, who can stay afloat until then.
You should
Just
just
Rough
have
it
to.
out.
just do what
Yeah,
you
you have
can.
to rough it out and do what you can. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Alejandro, I
take
think
anything.
it's time for the question.
The over. Okay.
The question.
Yes, this question. Sorry, thank you. You reminded me. Okay. If there's jobs in Australia, Germany, France, South Africa, do you
Abroad.
apply? Abroad.
Singapore?
Do you Singapore? Do you
Canada?
apply or do you not apply?
I definitely apply. I think
No, he said he will apply, and then if we get, you move your whole life.
Doesn't
Even
matter.
if
He
you
said he
know it's a
applies.
contract-based, right? Even if you know it's a contract-based job.
so. I think the thing is for me is that I would still apply just because you never really know, and
Okay.
if we get to the interview point, maybe we can discuss, you know, options and things like that. I know I'm in a fortunate position where like if I were to go off to like somewhere like Singapore or something like that,
Yeah.
that like I would have family that would be able to support me, and like if
That's
if
really
Oh,
good.
is
like
that?
I
Are you
lose like
from
my studio.
Singapore? Is that why
No,
you say Singapore?
no, I'm Chinese and British,
Okay.
so you know, or English, I guess, because people are gonna be like British. What the? Anyways, but
Not us. Not us. You're good here.
yeah, I say Singapore because I know a guy that did end up going to Singapore for like a little
Okay.
bit, but then things happened and his contract ran up early, and he was essentially stuck. And if he didn't have like his family over here to like help him like come back, then he would have been in a lot of trouble. But like, you
Alejandro,
know, it worked
you
out.
might get stuck in a different country if you do an animation of
Still
someone
doing
else,
it.
just random. Yeah.
Still doing it. Open to work. Out overseas, abroad. I'm in.
Yeah.
Open to work.
But I mean, I think it's definitely like, you know, an opportunity to like work, you know, somewhere else. It's definitely if you know
If the opportunity is good enough, then
yeah,
you
if the
definitely
opportunity is
yeah.
like good enough, and you know, you can learn something from it, like why not, you know,
This
take
makes
that
more sense. I mean,
opportunity.
Alejandro's like, I'll go anywhere. It doesn't matter what kind of job, as long as it's an animation, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Open to work. Alejandro, abroad.
Open to work,
We
willing
ask
to
this question all
negotiate.
the time.
Willing to negotiate. My bag is packed. Just waiting
Ready
for
to
that
go.
call. Ready to
Yeah.
Yeah, his poster is ready to pack again. So easy to pack again. So
Right.
it's like he's ready.
Yeah, but like definitely on that note, there is also that question of like, okay, well, you know, I'm in a relationship now as well, and like, or, you know, already it's long distance, but it's long distance within the state. So like,
Yeah, it would be
you
very
know,
hard.
it's a little
Time
bit easier
difference.
to like, you know, visit and, you know, just kind of like fly over
Is
and
she in
fly
the
back.
animation industry?
No, she's a teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like going further, that definitely, that they'll put strain on it,
Mm.
and it that does make those kind of decisions like hard. And then
Harder. Yeah.
yeah, and then on the European front, of course, like I do have dual citizenship, so it was
Henry's
Same
open
here.
to work. We have
It
2
was
people
great.
open to work. Thank you.
2 people?
2 people.
2
Oh,
people?
abroad. Yes, you.
I never said I'm not going. I said I'm not going to Australia or New Zealand
I mean,
or
she's already in
Singapore.
France. She's
This
got
is
she's
true.
got a
If
one up on
France
This is
you.
wants
true.
me to stay, I will be more than happy to just stay here and never go back.
Hey, see if the Arcane Studio will take you.
Yeah, because aren't they
I
making a new one?
wish.
Yeah.
They're working on it,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
man, I
season
gotta
2.
I'll
rewatch
just go
that.
post myself behind the door and be like, please, 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 please,
That's
please,
great social content right there. You should totally do it. Or hold a sign up and just say, please.
please open to work.
Seriously,
That's
though,
an
Yeah,
do
just
it.
amazing
work
studio.
those sad
Yeah.
puppy dog eyes, and someone, maybe the HR desk will like come out and be like, do you want to come in?
I mean, I look young, so I can definitely do it.
You should totally do it so we can have something. Be like, hey, Crispy Animator Podcast, we want you to do an interview. Can I come in?
I can have a reason. If they don't buy my puppy eyes, I can just switch and go professional.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And do that networking.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, which
All right,
is
well-
another thing that I was making sure to do, like after I graduated, like going to
Puppy
GDC
eyes?
and things like that. Like
Puppy
no,
Working on the
like
puppy eyes?
networking.
Oh.
Well, I was working a little bit on my puppy dog eyes during GDC, like going to people and be like, "Do you have work, please?" And please, sir, can I have a review? Can you look at my reel and tell me what you see?
I
Yeah,
love
just
that
wait in line.
I love that his puppy eye thing goes with his English accent. It's
Yeah,
just
it's the
connected.
what is that kid's name? Oliver Twist? Is it Oliver Twist where that's from?
Oliver, yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
please, sir,
you
can I have
have-
some?
You did good.
Okay.
You did
All
good.
right, good.
Yeah.
Yay! I know my references.
I still haven't remembered the name of that game, by the way, but I'll figure
Well,
it
you
out.
have time because
I'll come
we're
around.
going to edit it, so we'll figure it
Okay,
out.
cool,
Henry will
cool.
finally see it when his episode comes out.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Sounds-
Henry
sounds
has
great.
played The Last of Us when this episode comes out, which means like next week. Do it fast.
Speed
I don't know about
run.
that.
We'll see. Hopefully, I'll get around to it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to eventually just pop it into my PlayStation, my PS4.
Just give it a shot.
Just because the PC version apparently is broken.
Yeah, no,
I
don't do
played it.
PS4.
I opened it, I played it, and it literally crashed in the first
Yeah, that's not a
8
PC
minutes. I was
game.
like,
It's not.
This is
Just
not
do
fair.
PS4. No,
yeah.
you like it. As soon as you start, you're gonna fall in
Actually,
love.
the other reason why I wanted to play the PC version is because I had a friend who was from college who was like their senior character modeler there.
Oh,
So
that's
like
really
she,
cool.
she worked on like the remaster of the game and like
Wow.
and
What's her name?
Colleen Peck. No, well, I guess now it's Colleen Larson, but yeah, Colleen Peck.
Hi, Colleen. We would love to have you on the podcast.
We
Yeah,
love you.
she's fantastic.
I will reach out.
Yeah,
You'll
she's
hear from us.
absolutely fantastic.
Very
Cool,
nice.
man.
But
Well, Henry, we want to say thank you again for being on the podcast. It's been
For
great
sure.
catching up with you, hearing everything. Wow.
Oh wow.
Oh,
He's so
man.
sad to let you go.
so
He's saying
sad.
He's choking.
It's been forever, man.
honestly, it
I miss you.
has. It's been a long time.
It has. We do have to catch up in person.
Yeah, definitely. I'll
Can
try
I
to make
please
it up
be
to.
there? I haven't seen any human animators in a long time.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
Just bring us baguettes and it's good.
Have
Deal.
a Crispy Animators live edition or something.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
that's really cool. We have Crispy Animator shirts for you as well.
Yeah,
Oh my
right. All the merch.
One day we'll make that. One day.
Yeah.
But-
Why?
What?
Soon.
Soon? Okay.
Soon.
Now.
I think just days she's thinking futures. Future.
You gotta
I don't
expand.
know. I-
Gotta invest in your company.
I mean, I'm a day ahead already. Okay.
Oh, that's
She is
true.
in the
She's in
day
the
ahead,
future.
so-
She
so
can
yeah, I
see.
have to-
She can see into
yeah,
the future.
I know what's gonna happen.
Nice.
But yeah,
How are the
thanks so much,
animation job?
Henry. It's been great.
How's the animation job market looking in the future? One day in the future.
I know. Please tell
It's so
us.
sad, so sad, so sorry to
Oh,
say,
damn
it's
it.
still pretty bad. Yeah. Just hang in there.
Unplugging the
Hanging in
mic
there.
right now. Just calling it.
Positive attitudes. Just keep on trucking. You know.
Yeah, and just do whatever you can.
I think that's the main thing these days. Yeah.
Hey, it's your turn to say our thing that we say. Do you remember
Me?
from
Or Henry?
No, Henry.
And it's okay if you mess it up. I love those kind of endings.
And it's okay if you don't remember what it is.
I honestly I don't remember. I'm sorry. My memory is really bad with these kinds of things. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
You know what? Let him make it up. I want him to make it up. How are you
Don't
gonna
put
send this
pressure
off?
on him, man.
He's an animator. He's got to think off the top of his head real quick.
Okay.
How would I end this episode?
Yeah, how are you gonna end the
You
episode?
can end it for us.
Goodbye. No.
Bye.
Peace out.
Well, Alejandro and I'm sorry. Sormeh. Sorry.
Collaboratives.
Collaboratives. Well, thank you for joining us on this today's episode of Crispy Animators. Today we had Alejandro, Sormeh, and yours truly, Henry. And we are previous animation collaboratives, and we hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to seeing you in the next one.
That was beautiful. Bye, everyone.
Sponsored by Duolingo.
Wee wee.